As of this taping, I have not yet been placed under a conservatorship, and I still have access to my checking account. For those reasons, I have recently acquired an organ blower. I don't know why. I don't have a pipe organ. I have no plans to buy a pipe organ. I am not a musician. I don't know why I have this other than I thought it was cool. So here we go. This is a Spencer Orgoblo. Here's the badge. I will say that this is most of the reason that I got this. Of course, the price was right and it was kind of convenient, but this decal is very cool. The thing itself is in such beautiful shape, and I'd never had one of these before, and I thought I would play with it. For organ blowers, this is a little tiny baby. Organ blowers get massive and huge and magnificent, and this one you could, fit in the trunk of your car. Well, at least I could fit in the trunk of my car. 75th anniversary would suggest that this was produced in around 1967, let's say. And it's pretty cool to think about the fact that 60 plus years ago, or almost 60 years ago, this was already an old company that had been making these things for a very long time. And of course, Spencer is still in business today. Even though organ blowers are no longer a major part of their business, you could call them up and order something like this, and they would ask for lots of money, and then they would build it for you. This is powered by a Century 3-phase induction motor and 3/4 horsepower. Interestingly enough, this has a sticker on it that says quiet motor. This motor is specially designed and tested for quiet operation. So even though, unlike some of the other organ blowers, this is a standard 1750 RPM. What does that mean? It's a 4-pole? As opposed to a 6-pole, which would be like a 900 and something RPM motor, which oftentimes was used for organ blowers on account of the quietness. So anyway, this is two impellers, two big impellers, one here, one there, with a deflector in the middle. This front portion is an intake silencer, and the air is pulled in from the bottom where there is a door. And depending on how much air is demanded by the instrument at that time, that determines how much air is being pulled in and how wide this opens. Now these blowers, this can run sealed all day long, forever. It doesn't care, it won't overheat. But it cannot run wide open. It needs to have some resistance. So before I turn this on for you, I'm going to use my special Spencer Turbine Orgoblo discharge blocking tool. One moment, please. And here we are. Of course, this being 3-phase and me being in my home in a van down by the river, I need to run this off a VFD. So when I push start, most of what you'll hear is the sound of the VFD's cooling fan, and I apologize for that. Here we go. So you can get an idea of how much air this thing is able to move. It's rated at 500 CFM at 5 inches of water column. And as I mentioned, this would, despite its size, supply a very small instrument. And in fact, in the realm of organ blowers, this itself is a pretty small example of one. So, any ideas on what I should do with this thing? Drop a comment. Thanks for watching.